Let's talk about Boston College football. Their season opens up, first game in the Bill O'Brien era, at Florida State. This is going to be a tough one. Seminoles coming off a season opening loss they had in week 0. This will be the season debut for this BC football team. Obviously, you cover the team extensively when you were a student there. If you guys don't know, check out Annabelle's Instagram. You'll see, what's up, guys? AB here. I don't want to completely butcher what your intro is, but you do a great job.
Good. You had it.
All right, I'm gonna start doing, what's up, guys? GB here, GB and AB.
Yeah.
But you cover this team extensively. Bill O'Brien comes in, but we see familiar names from the past team, especially Thomas Castellanos at quarterback. What do you think is the most important part of this Boston College football team that can lead to them having success this season? More importantly, making it a game with the Noles and potentially pulling off an upset.
Yeah, well, I'm so excited for college football to be back, and especially Boston College. It's crazy. I remember when Bill O'Brien first got to the Heights, he was talking about, everybody's, making a big deal out of Florida State and having to open up with them, but we just got to shut out the noise and focus on us. And now we're here. We're about to play Florida State. We're already at this point in the year and the season, and so it's just crazy how time really flew by. But no, I'm excited for this Boston College football team. I think the guys are really excited, and for them to succeed, they're just going to need to stick to the motto that they've been talking about all training camp, which is do your job and stay in the moment. And so clearly we can see the Patriot ties in this Boston College football program. So that's been cool to see, and I think there's a lot of buy-in from the players knowing the NFL experience that they're getting from this coaching staff, especially from Bill O'Brien. But yeah, for this number 10 matchup against Florida State, huge game. Almost beat them last year, but penalties were really what hurt us. I was front row of that student section fan zone. Totally thought we were going to win the game. We ended up losing 29-31, and it was really because of these penalties. So big focus for the Eagles, disciplined football, no unforced errors. We can't shoot ourselves in the foot. That's number 1. And then I would say number 2, what the team is really focusing on is just 4 quarters of relentless football. How can the Eagles come out hot, stay hot, play every whistle the same? But it's going to be a great first test for the Eagles down in Tallahassee. Crazy fan base, crazy student section. So it'll be interesting to see.
It's one of those where they embrace the environment they're in, which I think a leader like Bill O'Brien would do, where don't make the moment bigger than it is. Yes, like you said, the environment, the atmosphere is going to be absolutely insane, especially that it's going to be like a Monday night kickoff. If this was a 1 p.m. kickoff in Tallahassee, that's one thing. But a Monday night kickoff, that's when the crowd really gets into it. That's when everyone, has a little more time at their tailgates to really get into it and get festive. But that's just when the lights are on, the lights are brightest. And for a team that's searching for their first win after being completely disappointed against Georgia Tech out in Ireland, that these fans are going to be more thirsty. And this team is going to be more desperate that they face. But I just think, too, how Florida State was dominated at the line of scrimmage by Georgia Tech. And this isn't the old Georgia Tech where you can see the triple option. This is a Georgia Tech team that has balance of passing and running, but nonetheless, that was dominated at the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball. Well, this is a BC team that still has their foundation of a good defensive line, a good offensive line, but Castellanos and Robichaud, Thomas Castellanos, quarterback, Kai Robichaud, the running back, those guys together can just take over the team, dominate the play clock, do the little things right. And you said it, AB, do the little things right. Have your priorities. Take care of the football. Don't do turnovers. Don't have bad penalties. They come out and they play fundamental football, and you have 2 guys that can own the play clock, own the game, and by doing what they do with their legs, especially Castellanos is a good passer, but his athleticism is what makes him such a threat. You do that, you control the clock, you take the crowd out of it in Tallahassee. That is what can give a lot of success for BC. And just being frank, watched DJU at Clemson, watched him at Oregon State, watched him at Florida State. This is a guy that came with a lot of hype, 5-star recruit, number 1 overall recruit going to Clemson, and just didn't work out. I still just don't see what I want to from him as a quarterback that can take over a game. And because BC does have that kind of guy and they have that group around him with his receivers, and again, a skilled, experienced, smart play caller like Bill O'Brien, I think BC has a great shot going into Tallahassee and pulling off the upset. See, I do have optimism. I can't be nice, AB. It took me a while.
Yeah, no, you do. I'm not throwing any shade. You're right. You're right. Anytime we're supporting my BC Eagles, I'm all for it. But I think there's something too to be said about Kai Robichaud and Tommy Castellanos coming in with their second year, right?
Yeah.
Especially in college, your first year, new school, new friends, new people, new coach, new teammates. Like, there's a lot on your plate. You're not just only focused on football. And so I think this will be a really exciting time to see what Tommy is able to do, what Kai is able to do. I actually spoke briefly with Tommy, and he said that he's just super excited about this football team. It's a new BC team that we've seen before. He thinks the new guys that we have coming in are just unbelievable, and he's really excited for week 1. So when your quarterback is jacked up, good things are going to happen.
Hey, real quick, we have like 2-3 minutes left in this episode of Foxboro Rush, AB. Who is your favorite, or maybe the most, I would say this, what BC athlete did you interview that kind of had the biggest like impact on you, resonated with you the most? Like maybe most down to earth, maybe just so outgoing, so happy. But all those interviews you did, and I saw you did a lot, especially with football. You did it with everyone, basketball, hockey. What was the one athlete that really stuck with you?
Man, that's a great question. I've actually never been asked that. I mean, I loved all the people that I interviewed. It was truly an honor. I would just say not full circle moment, but a really cool moment was when I got to interview my own teammate, Sydney Scales, after he won the ACC championship. And that was just crazy because I was able to honor our team, but also get the opportunity to talk to her from a different perspective, but also from a teammate perspective. So I had a little bit more of the inside scoop than I probably would have interviewing a football player, a hockey player, a basketball player. So that was just really special for me, and to get to highlight our team in that way and just reflect on the championship. You know, when you are in the season and your goal is to win the national championship, you get into that film, that post-game meeting. We do a BC lacrosse recap. It probably lasts 2 minutes. Okay, talk about the game that happened Saturday. This is on Monday morning. Talk about the game, highlights, people raise their hand. This is what I liked. I love this girl, hustle play, all the things. And then boom, we're done. Turn the page, coaches hand out a new scouting report, and we're done with that conversation. So this was just really special to get to have time to soak that in, talk about the ACC championship, and highlight my teammate Sydney Scales, who's actually going to be coaching at Harvard this season with their women's lacrosse team, and she played pro lacrosse all summer. So definitely a lot of athletes that were amazing to talk to, but Sydney Scales was really cool.
Love that. I think great answer. And I get it too. Like the tens, the hundreds, the thousands of interviews you'll eventually do. Like all of them were great, but they're the ones that resonate. I just love that personal touch of you with Sid, especially after such a big moment, winning the ACC, taking that next step to get to the Natty, which you guys won. AB, great answer. And I know it's tough. I made you pick, like, who's your favorite child, right? Like, I'm sure your parents get asked that, and they go, well, I love them all. You love all your interviews. You're the ones that stick out in that moment. That was great. She's Annabelle Hasselbeck. Annabelle, great job. Loved you coming on Rush. What do you think? First time on the show. You'll come back?
I loved it. Thanks so much for having me, and hopefully we can see some Patriots wins, but not against the Seahawks this year. I got to root for the Hawks. Go Seattle.
No matter what, people are going to be rooting for AB's predictions more than mine. I'm GB. She's AB. This is Foxboro Rush. We'll see you guys with a new episode Wednesday morning.